Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Queen's Park for Life. I am Glenn Marshall and it's just me this week by myself. Unfortunately, due to the enormous demand we have for this beautiful venue, there was a scheduling conflict with the guest. But that's fine. We'll just go through some results and draws for the following week and we'll resume regular programming again next week. So the SPL team had a beautiful 4-2 win over Green Island in Sunnyvale. They were 2-0 down after 23 minutes. Obviously not the start you want, but that's right, 2-2 at the half, courtesy of Jason Tappan after a beautiful cross, which I believe was either Calum or Cam, and followed not long after by a Tom Kent worldie from, must have been 30 odd yards. Cam in the 62nd minute scored to go 3-2 up, assisted by Dylan Hawkes, who then finished off the comeback in the 80th minute, scoring one himself. Assistant coach Corey Johnson was not entirely happy with the performance, which is understandable. You go 2-0 down inside 20 odd minutes. There's obviously work-ons there. But he was obviously stoked with the determination and never say die attitude, which secured a vital 3 points for the SPL team. Still bottom of the table, but edging closer and closer to those more prominent positions, and there is only, I believe, 5 points between third and bottom of the table. So yeah, Donald Gray had a well-earned 5-1 win over the Gore Wanderers reserve side at Hyde Park. We certainly played well in patches, but obviously we'll need to tidy things up a bit heading into the split in a few weeks. Mr. Manny opened the scoring in the 5th minute, followed by myself actually getting a goal from the top of the box in the 24th to take a 2-0 lead into the half. Sebastian and Ganesh scored incredibly quickly after the break, both within the first 5 minutes of the half, I believe, to give us a 4-0 lead. Gore replied not long after with a well-worked counter-attack to bring the game to 4-1. But yeah, we sort of just saw the game out, and Cam McAllister, I believe, scored directly from a corner with 10-15 minutes to go to sort of put an end to any thought of a comeback from the Gore team. And as someone who can or has been critical of referees in the past, it's only fair to point out when they do a fantastic job. And yeah, Samantha Keane easily had the best game I've seen a referee yesterday, so well done to her. The women continued their quest for a 4th consecutive Colt Cup with a somewhat surprising narrow 2-0 win over Thistle at O'Rourke Park. Both goals were scored by Vanessa Hamlin inside the first 10 minutes, and that was enough to get the win and maintain their top-of-the-table stance, even though they did have a few players missing, according to coach Leanne Dustin. Editors Cut Division 2 continued their good form with a 4-1 win over Gore at Surrey Park to give their Division 2 Cup aspirations a solid start after securing the Patrons Cup last week. And Level 1 Division 2 went down to Southend in a 3-1 loss in the Division 2 trophy competition. Well, he got one wrong last week actually, giving Green Island a slight edge in the odds. But he's returned, he's done his research, he's back with a vengeance. So Burgie, mate, what do you got for us in the bookies this week?
Welcome to another edition of Burgie's Bookies. We have 3 matches for you this week. First match into the Southern League, Northern vs Queen's Park. Form line, Northern lost 4-2 to Mosgiel last week. Queen's Park beat Green Island 4-2 last week. Odds are Northern $2, draw $3, Queen's Park $3.40. Donald Gray qualifier, Queen's Park vs Old Boys reserves. Form line, Queen's Park beat Gore reserves 5-1 last week. Old Boys reserves lost 2-1 to Thistle Prems. Odds are Queen's Park $1.20, draw $3, Old Boys reserves $5. Colt Cup, Queen's Park vs Winton. Form line, Queen's Park beat Thistle 2-0 and Winton lost 6-0 to Old Boys. Odds are Queen's Park $1, draw $10, Winton $100. Please gamble responsibly.
Cheers for that, Burgie. I'll meet you in the car park with the wee black book on Saturday, mate. The draw for this week, the SPL team are away again, heading up the road to take on Northern at 2:45 at Logan Park. Donald Gray play Old Boys Division 1 at the Turf at 1 p.m. in what should be an interesting matchup given the Old Boys form. The women host Winton at Surrey Park 2 at 1 p.m. Div 2 Editors Cup play Wyndham at Surrey Park 4 at 2:45, which is just after the Division 2 Level 1 men host Western, also at Surrey Park 4 at 1 p.m. So, yep, short and sharp this week, team. We'll see you next week. And remember, Queen's Park for life.